How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Lightning Cinema. As I said before, this is season 2, episode 1. Yes, that's correct. We are bringing a new season with a new year. And so I'm hoping we can continue on the tradition of me watching a film and reviewing it. Now, before I get into the film we're talking about today, I'm going to go ahead and take care of some housekeeping situations. First things first, welcome to all the ones who are new to the channel, whether you're just stopping by and watching it or whether you're a new subscriber. I say thank you. You know, your boy does need the subscriptions, but I'm not going to force it. If you like what you see, you can click the little red box down there that says subscribe. That'll be just fine with me. If there's a movie you want me to review, then leave it in the comment section below. If you want me to do like a monthly like a certain genre of a month, let me know that. If there's a film that you really like, but you want me to give my opinion on it, then drop it down in the comment section. That's what that's there for. However, also there's something else you want me to do. Like I said in the last video, there's some things in the works that's coming down the pipe. I can't really tell you exactly when it's going to happen. It's going to happen sometime possibly either this year or next year. Who knows? As you know, life is crazy that way. And please excuse my hair. It's a little crazy. It's always that way. So, now let's get into what this video is about. We are talking about The Negotiator. Yes, if you've seen it before, you know it stars Kevin Spacey and Samuel L. Jackson. And while yes, this film is rated R, to me, I think it's really good. It tells a story about how corrupt cops can cause a lot of issues with other cops. The good cops always get the brunt of what happens with the bad cops. Now, what makes this film unique is that you don't really see much from the hostage negotiators in films and TV shows or what have you. And those people actually, to me, put their life on the line way more than the cops and FBI agents and what have you, because they have to go into a situation, or they have to keep a situation calm when they're dealing with somebody who is keeping hostages, who could be volatile, hostile. You know, when the situation can flip a switch like that. You need someone who's calm and collected, and that's what these negotiators are. Well, in this film, it's about a negotiator who is told by a friend of his about some things happening within the department that shouldn't be. And so, throughout the film, it's basically a cat and mouse game with Samuel L. Jackson trying to figure out who's trying to frame him, while also trying not to ruin his own reputation and his own career in the process by doing some, by making the situation really difficult. Now, this film, there's a lot of cussing in it. I don't really know exactly how many F-bombs were dropped in this film, but there's a lot of them. Most of them comes from Samuel L. Jackson. As we all know, that's his favorite word when he's in movies like that. Now, would I recommend this film to be watched by kids? No. I'll tell you why. It's not because of the cussing. It's because of the content. Because of what the film represents. It represents cops in a different light. And we want kids to think cops are people they can go to. They can't watch a cop basically hold people hostage and try to shoot other cops. That just doesn't sit right. Also, another thing about this film that makes it good is the acting. Like there's so much good acting in the film that you don't even have to listen to the words being said. It's just watch the body language from Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey. And for those of you who like Kevin Spacey, yes, Kevin Spacey is one of those political jarheads, political talking heads. But you know what? In this film, he's amazing. He does a good job at what he's supposed to be doing. Now, granted, do I agree with what he does personally? No. But you know what? I can appreciate his work in this film for what he does. Now there are some spacing issues. There are some timing issues in certain scenes. Granted, this film was done in '98, where film today has changed drastically. Like oh my goodness, it has changed drastically from when they did it back in the '90s. So this film is good for what it does. It tells a good story. The directing is very good in my opinion. You know, granted it is in Chicago, but to me that makes sense because besides the LAPD and NYPD, the Chicago Police Department is probably one of the most iconic police departments in the United States. And they deal with a lot of organized crime. And they probably have, in my opinion, they probably have had more corrupt officers go through their ranks than the NYPD and LAPD. Now, I'm not saying NYPD and LAPD are perfect, because they're not. But Chicago has been known for having guys who see money or see drugs and they just fall into temptation, and that's human nature. That's hard to not fall into that when you are a cop, because everyone knows cops don't get paid that much. Granted, they are out there saving lives. Out there, they are risking their lives to better us. They don't get paid as much as people think. So obviously, yes, they're going to resort to stealing and doing debauchery and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's about their conscience. Now, as with the Negotiator in this film, I would suggest you watch it from the beginning to the end. Don't try to come in the middle, because you'll be lost so badly that you will turn it off because you have no clue what's going on. Negotiator is one of those films you want to sit through all the way. You don't want to leave unless you've seen it quite a few times like I have. I've seen that film quite a bit, and each time I watch it and I get something different out of it. You know, I see what happens when you're a cop and you have friends in the department, or friends with the corrupt cops. You know, the corrupt cops will say something to your friends to get them to turn on you. But at the end of the day, if they're truly your friends, they're going to have your back. And that's what happens near the end of the film when Samuel L. Jackson is holding the radio and I guess Frost, that's the character's name, who's actually the main bad guy, basically confesses everything that him and the other corrupt cops were doing. And when he walks out, the entire police, the department that they work for, is standing in the front lawn of, go figure, an internal affairs officer's house. Now, normally would you see a cop go to an internal affairs house? No, because you know why? Internal affairs is probably one agency that no cop wants to have because they can get biased. Do I agree with some of that? Yeah. I mean, if you watch some TV, you can tell. If you watch cop shows enough times, you'll see whenever an IA officer comes to the precinct, the tension rises all the time. And it's not always hunky-dory and, wanting to work with them. Usually they're trying to, assess what the problem is, while the regular cops are like trying their best to get IA out of the precinct so they can continue their work, especially if they're in an investigation. But the Negotiator, if you want a good cop film that's done right, I would say this one would be for you. If you love Samuel L. Jackson, watch this film because you can see his range. He is not just a comedic actor. He is not just a straight up. He's not a straight up action hero. This one, he actually shows his acting chops. This one, he actually shows why he is probably one of the most underrated actors of all time, who probably should have an Academy Award under his belt, but because of the characters he plays, he will never get that. But he is a tremendous actor, and it's surprisingly everyone who in the scenes he works with, you can see the chemistry. You can see, especially with Paul Giamatti, which is surprising because first few times I'm like, okay, yeah. But after watching some Paul Giamatti, and him and Samuel L. Jackson have such a good chemistry on screen, you would think they've done it for years. I'm not sure if they've been in any of other films. So, yes. So what's my rating on it? Maybe like 6 out of 10 for swagginess. So, if you want to watch this film, right now it's on Tubi. I don't know how long it's going to be on Tubi for, but it is on Tubi, which is a free app that you can download off of your phone. I am not paid. This is not an ad for it. I'm just saying Tubi has some really good films that you guys should watch. They have all kinds of stuff that if you like horror, they have horror. Now, granted, some of it looks campy. I'll leave that for your interpretation and your opinion and what have you. But like I said, if you want to watch The Negotiator, then go on Tubi or go on Amazon and buy the DVD. Watch it. Formulate your own opinion on it. And if you want to have a dialogue, leave me a comment on what your favorite scene was. What scene you think they could have done better with? What if, like, who would you have play some of the parts? I want to know. But in the meantime, Remember to stay swaggy and keep it locked for the next video. Alright. Swag out.